So guys, I'm gonna tell you about object document object module, right, in this. And what is the document object module? So document object module is programming interface for web document, and it represents the structure of a document as a tree of object where each object corresponded to a part of the document such as element, attributes, and text content. JavaScript can manipulate the DOM, allowing dynamic change to web pages. This is actually definition part of document object module. So now this is syntax part of document object module. What is syntax? The DOM is interpreted with using JavaScript. The common method include get element by ID, get element by tag name, and get element by class name, and various properties and method to manipulate element. Example HTML document. It is a syntax. It is a HTML document. Example document HTML language en head meta character UTF meta name viewport content with device DOM example head body h1 id main heading hello DOM paragraph class content graph. This is sample of paragraph button id change text button change text script source app.java script body HTML, right, the closing part. So, and this is example JavaScript app JavaScript access element by ID class or tag name const heading equal to document.get element by ID main heading const paragraph equal to document.get element by class name content minus paragraph 0 const button document get element by tag name button 0. Changing text content heading dot text content equal to modify heading, right, paragraph dot text content new paragraph text heading event listener to the button dot add event listener click function heading dot style color equal to blue, and paragraph dot style font weight equal to bold, creating new element and appending it to the body constant new element equal to document dot create element new element dot text content system dynamically created paragraph document dot body dot append child is equal to new element, right. Now the explanation part. Get element by ID retrieve an element by its ID, gets elements by class name, retrieve element by their class name, get element by tag name, retrieve element by their tag. Changing text content. Text content property is used to get or set the text content of an element. Come to the this is text, right? This is text content. So the text content property is used to get or set the text content of an element. Come to the event handling. Event changing handling. Add event listener. Attach an event handler to an element, right? This is event handling. Come to the downside. Styling. Process properties such as style.color and style.front weight can be used to modify the stylish of an element. Creating a new element and appending it to the body. Const new element is equal to document.create element new element create element, right. So creating and appending element create element create a new HTML element. Append child, it's mean ki append a child node to the end of the list of children of a specified parent node. The basic manipulation of the DOM is including accessing element, changing content, handling over, dynamically creating and appending new element. That is all about right? Come to the second explanation. So access element can be accessed using method get element by id, query selector, etc. Modifying content. Element content can be modified using property like context content. Event handling. Even a listener can be added to element using add event listener to respond to user interaction. Styling. Element style can be modified by updating the style property. Creating and updating element. New element can be created with create element and append to the DOM using append child. Let's break down each part of the provided JavaScript code. Right. So the first one, access and element by ID. Let element is equal to document dot get element by ID element. Right. Then after that, a second modify element dot text content is equal to new content adding an event listener element dot add event listener click function. Code to execute when the element is click. Right. This is down JavaScript. Let's break down the provided HTML code. Document HTML, let HTML lang, head, meta character, UTF, meta name, port, content, width, device width, initial scale 1.0, title, DOM, example, head, body, h1, ID, main, heading, hello DOM, paragraph, class, content, paragraph, this is simple paragraph, button ID, change text button, change text button, script, src, app.js, script close, body, HTML close, right? So let's break down each part of the provided JavaScript code. Access element by id class or tag name const heading is equal to document.get element by id main heading const paragraph get document.query selector content minus paragraph const button is equal to document.get element by id change text button changing text content heading dot text content is equal to modified heading paragraph dot text content new paragraph text adding an event listen to the button dot add event listener click function heading dot style dot color, right, blue, paragraph dot style color is equal to blue, right, creating new element and appending to the body. Constant new element is equal to now document. See, creating a new element and appending it to the body. Const new element is equal to document dot create element paragraph. New element dot text content is the dynamically created paragraph. Document dot body dot append child, right? So the explanation part I'm going to tell you about in this. When I'm talking about JavaScript code, you can see this accessing the element get element by id element dot id, right? What is the meaning? This line of code uses the get element by id method provided by the document object module. It retrieves an HTML element from the document by its unique identifier id. The retrieved element is then stored in the variable named element. This allows you to reference and manipulate the property and the content of that HTML element in the JavaScript code. Come to the second part, modifying element content. After appending the reference to the HTML element with the specified ID, the code modifies its content. The text content property is used to set the text content of the element to the string. New content. This line demonstrates how to dynamically change the text inside an HTML element using JavaScript. Right. Come to the third point. The third point is this section add an event listener to the previously retrieved HTML element. The add event listener method is used to register a function that will be executed when a specific event occurs on the element. In this case, the event being listened for is a click event. When the element with the specified ID is clicked, the function provided as the second argument will be executed. This allows you to respond to user interactions such as a click and perform action or execute code accordingly. Right? The how this like a code snippet explain you like how to access an HTML element by IDs, modify its content, and respond to a click event by execution of function. This is a common pattern used in the client-side web development to make a web page interactive and dynamic. Right, guys? So come to the downside. I'm gonna explain you about HTML code, right? So the document type declaration, document type HTML, they declare the HTML version being used, which is the HTML5 in this case, and HTML document structure, HTML the root element of the HTML document. Len specify the language of the document in English. Head is the meaning of the contain metadata including character set, viewport setting, and the document title. Meta character set is a UTF-8 declare the character set of the document as UTF-8 which support a wide range of the character. Meta name viewport content width device width initial scale 1.0 configure the viewport setting for a responsive design on various devices. Title set the title of the HTML document which is the displayed on the browser tab. Body contain the content of the HTML document. Content inside, right? Body. H1 ID main heading hello DOM H1, right? Define a handling level 1 H1 with the ID main heading. Now come to the paragraph. This is a sample paragraph. Define a paragraph with a class content paragraph. Button ID. Creates a button element with the ID change text button. JavaScript inclusion. Link an external JavaScript film name app.js to the HTML document. The script is expected to contain JavaScript code that interact with the DOM, right? So what is the purpose? The HTML document provides a basic structure with a heading, paragraph, and button. The goal is to demonstrate the use of the DOM by including an external JavaScript file app.js that manipulates the content of the HTML element dynamically. The JavaScript code in app.js is expected to access and modify the text content of the heading when the button is clicked as indicated by the script inclusion. Right? So now come to the, let's break down each part of the provided in JavaScript code. So accessing element, right? So get element by ID and this retrieve an element by its ID. In this case it gets the element with the ID main heading and change text button. Query selector, it retrieve the first element that match a specified CSS selector. Here it is get element with the class content paragraph, right? Now come to the JavaScript heading text. The text content property is used to change the text content of the HTML element. The text content of the heading is set to modify heading and the paragraph is set to new paragraph text. Right, guys? So and come to the add event listener. Add event listener attach an event listener to a button element. When the button is clicked, click event, the provider function is executed. Inside the function, the style of the heading is changed to have a blue color and the paragraph font weight is set to bold. Come to the creating and appending new element. Create element, create a new HTML paragraph P element, it is a create element. Text content is set for the new element, and append the new element to the end of the body, right? So that is about create element and text content and append child. So what is the overall summary? The JavaScript code, like I have demonstrated, common interface with the DOM, like accessing element by ID and classes, changing the text content of an element, adding an event listener to respond to button click and modify styles dynamically, creating a new HTML element and appending it to the body. This code provides a basic example of how JavaScript can be used to make a dynamic change to a web page, responding to user interaction and manipulating the document structure. I hope you understand about all this thing. You can try by yourself so you will get the output of that code. So this is all about document object model, guys. Let's meet in another video.